Howdy y'all, Stock Warden here, back with another video. Today's video we're looking at AREC, or the American Resources Corporation. They have been making some strides in their company here lately, especially with their expansion. Their stock price has been holding pretty firm. So, and the last time we covered this stock was back on January the 28th. And at that day, it had closed at $3.99 a share. We had pulled out two specific resistance lines that we had initially started looking at. One roughly at the $4.14 a share. And then we had a bottom line of $2.52 a share. So if we follow the original trend lines that we had from back in January, you'll see that the stock has ended up coming down close to that. We ended up ending the day today on Tuesday at $2.58 a share, which is just above the bottom resistance line that we were stating at about 250. So not too much to really say that it is a harsh bottom, and we did find a decent top because they did have a really good perch back on the 26th of January. So it was a bearish day, but it was also a bullish day in the beginning as well. So if we run this top line that we had set up roughly at about $4 a share, we'll bring it down to now. You can see that we've just about been able to trend in a midline, looking roughly about 340 to 345. So if we pin that line across here, then you can kind of see where we've had definitely a couple of small candles come in, and also a couple of tops and a couple of bottoms, more or less in this trend over the past 3 months in year 2026. So where is this stock looking now that we see that it's kind of going to start testing the bottom line of this resistance? Well, as it stands right now, they just ended up coming through with a $30 billion catalyst that is going to be reshaping America's mineral supply. So in Vancouver, British Columbia, the Department of Energy decided to launch a pivotal $500 million initiative to fund domestic mineral processing. So this is a massive structural shift showing that America is finally moving to fix the midstream bottlenecks that leave U.S. manufacturers exposed to foreign supply shocks. So currently, the 2026 critical mineral ministerial mobilized more than $30 billion in government-backed capital to accelerate local project development and streamline regulatory hurdles. So this wave of scalable investment is rapidly repricing undervalued onshore assets and being positioned directly in the path of this domestic localization thesis is American Resources. So that's something that is going to be massive for this company. So they're going to be able to get a massive chunk out of that $30 billion for the restructuring of all of this. So, and on top of that, the reason why they're going to get a big portion of that $30 billion is because American Resources announced that its subsidiary Electrified Minerals Corporation has expanded its pre-processing capabilities at its Indiana facility, which is adding new equipment to aggregate and condition magnet materials, copper, aluminum, and ferrous metals from end-of-life products and manufacturing scrap. So, conditioned rare earth and critical mineral feedstocks will flow directly into the sister company ReElement Technologies for advanced separation and ultra high purity refining, completing a fully domestic circular supply chain. And that's something that, if y'all have watched my videos on AREC before, y'all know for sure that I have hammered on ReElement Technologies, because their technology that they have turning old batteries into new pure batteries and being able to take raw and or recycled lithium and be able to make it into just as good, if not better, than the original battery that critical mineral was to begin with, is absolutely astronomical and is really one of its kind in the world, not necessarily just America. So they are a one of a kind company when it comes to doing something of that magnitude. So this expansion is representing another important step toward establishing the first fully domestic circular supply chain for rare earth metals. So this is going to be something amazing where they can start with true garbage and be able to turn it into a high purity material for reuse and recirculation. So, and also the expansion is expected to be supported by a Regulation D private capital raise at the subsidiary level, as well as a previously announced State of India recycling grant. So, the state of Indiana is also jumping in as well to help AREC pursue this recyclable goal. So you have not only the government, but also Indiana standing behind them to help keep them pushed, because it wouldn't be possible for them to do what they're doing unless they were able to keep up and keep the state and local governments happy with what they're doing. Because you have to have the people and the community involved, especially where they're putting out and producing a lot of their work. So, and not just bringing in jobs, but also a massive showing of the positive work that they're doing to the community as well. So they've been able to bring in that kind of an impact. So then now the state is even backing them further than just the government saying, hey, you have an amazing product and we need you to continue pushing it. So, but on top of that, American Resources is advancing plans to spin off electrified materials as an independent, publicly listed company, which is a move management believes will unlock a greater strategic flexibility and accelerate scaling of the domestic rare earth recycling platform. So if they end up doing that, it's possible American Resources Corporation will see a slight dip in their stock in specific, but that doesn't mean that AREC is going to end up dropping out or selling out or the stock just completely shutting down, because electrified materials is what feeds American Resource Corporation. So they're going to be using this as an opportunity to be able to grow their company more publicly and also to be able to bring more people into the AREC umbrella. So then they can end up acquiring more money for public investment and also be able to divvy out a lot better into the investment and the stock market for investors like us that can see that this is something that they're looking at and wanting to do in the future. So with us knowing that, we can definitely keep an eye out on when they want to put it out, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of short sellers sitting and waiting to press that sell button as soon as that other ticker comes online, so they can dump everything out of here and instantly put it into the other one to get a quick bounce on their portfolio. So now, am I going to do that? No. I'm definitely, in my opinion, I like these stocks into a long haul. because you'll write it up and you'll write it down. But as Warren Buffett says, it doesn't matter where the stock goes, you haven't lost until you've sold. So that's just kind of my philosophy on this stock, even whenever they do get electrified materials as a independent public listed company. So that just means that I'll be able to make yet another set of videos for that set of company for news and listings as well. And honestly, I'll end up buying some of it as well because I believe in the backing of American Resources Corporation, their mission statement, and the direction that they're heading. So that is all I have for American Resources Corporation. I hope y'all enjoyed the video and I was able to give y'all the most up to date on what they have. They don't put out a whole lot very often, but when they do, it's always a good one. So this is the Stock Warden riding off. See y'all come back now, you hear?